Quite cool, huh?
Super cool. Conservation holds a special place in my heart. I've always felt the need to document memory so they're not lost to time. As a writer, I'm curious about how art, architecture, design, and culture shape the way we experience the world. Sometimes it lingers in old walls or in the scent of aged wood. In Singapore, you don't need a museum to feel the past. You can check into it, reimagine for the present. This is where it started for me, at my dad's Teochew porridge stall. He remembers regulars by name, by order, by habit. Each bowl a link to his roots. That same kind of care for people, for memory, for place is what I see in heritage hotels. My journey starts in Clarke Quay, once a landing point for traders where boats came in from across the region. I'm here to find out how a former remittance house has been brought back to life as a heritage hotel.
Just like a cool way to finish a building.
That's really interesting. I'm meeting Richard, the architect, who led its restoration and helped reconnect it to the area's trading past.
It was a remittance house. They were usually family-based businesses in the Chinese remittance business. The office here in Singapore relied on family contacts back in China where they trusted each other and then they could make the transaction. So the building's quite interesting in that a lot of the signage is still intact. And on the side here, we have all the cities in China that they had counterparties in so they could transmit the money back.
Can you also tell us about the original structure of the building?
There's actually not many 1930s shophouses in Singapore, so it's quite a unique building. Unusual too in that we have 4 shophouses in a row. I think the facade was interesting because it's Shanghai plaster and a very sophisticated version of it here. So Shanghai plaster is a stone and cement mixed to be a bit like terrazzo but left rough, which is applied, and it needs very skilled applicators to stop it dropping off. Originally in conservation guidelines it hadn't mentioned the Shanghai plaster. Photographs always showed it as a painted shop house, not a Shanghai plaster.
That's cool.
So it's one of those discoveries that you do as you research and open up the building.
Inside 21 Carpenter, the past is still underfoot. The original Chengal floorboards salvaged and laid back in place. Around it, everything feels considered. The lines are clean, the materials modern. But the building still knows where it came from. Tucked into the corners are lines from another time.
There was a business of Chinatown letter writer, so they had little offices set up in the 5-foot way. They would write down your thoughts and emotions and things in a letter that could then be attached to the remittance and sent back to China. So I thought it would be nice if a modern traveller could feel that bond and connection.
Inscriptions drawn from letters Teochew migrants once sent home with their remittances. Each one pulled from the National Archives. Small reminders of the lives that passed through here. Behind all of this is Liu Ko Guan, the owner who made space for history to stay.
I was born in Bengkulu and in a shop house. At that time, my father had an office in the front, and second floor, we have our residence. And because of that, I have a special attachment to the shop house. I really hope that we retain our historical culture and history that reflects real life. And somehow the Woha, the great architects, captured the old Singapore and the new Singapore, and then reflecting the spirits and aspiration of the Chinese migrant workers at that time.
From the stories of early immigrants, we shift to a different chapter of Singapore's past. The next stop takes us to Sentosa. Tucked within the island is a hotel built around 4 restored bungalows that used to house artillery officers. I'm meeting Kenneth, the hotel's resident culturist,
In the past, Sentosa used to be home to 3 British forts that were manned by the Royal Artillery, and now Capella Singapore is actually home to 4 of our original heritage buildings. So we have Colonial Manor 1 and 2 over here. So legend has it that before the fall of Singapore, the British actually hurriedly buried all their silver as well as silverware at this very lawn here.
So what happened to the treasure then?
It was said that a portion of it was found in Malaysia and the rest are actually unknown.
So where we're standing right now, we could be standing on top of silver treasure. I'm gonna go and dig it up later. Capella Singapore sits within a set of restored colonial buildings where architecture wasn't just about form. It was built for function. Brick and plaster walls, red tiled roofs, wide eaves to keep the rain out, tall windows to pull the breeze in, open corridors that cooled the building naturally. A century on, the design still holds.
This historically used to be the living space and residence of the senior merit officers as well as their families. So the structure of the Colonial Manor remains the same, with the external facade being preserved from the 1880s, while the interior was actually refreshed last year. And today, this is one of our exclusive retreats. We actually have curated experiences for the guests. So the British officers used to play mahjong as one of their favorite pastimes, and to pay tribute to this part of history, we have a guided session where the instructor will teach guests on the art of mahjong.
The bungalow across is a room with a more playful past. This was where they gathered with friends and family. A place for parties, drinks, and winding down.
This place used to be the mess hall for the officers to have their meals, enjoy recreational activities, afternoon teas, as well as holding galas. To pay homage to the past, we have turned this place to what we call the living room, where we serve all-day beverages, and in the evening, this place will transform into an elegant bar called the Pineapple Room. So Sentosa used to be a pineapple plantation back in the 1880s. That's why we felt that the Pineapple Room was a very fitting name.
What were the gatherings like back in the day?
So on special occasions like Christmas Day or New Year's Eve, they will hold ball parties where ladies will dress in their lavish gowns and gentlemen will be in their black tie, and they will also invite live bands to join in with the fun.
Here, the past is in the spaces you move through, the flavors you are served, and the stories you hear. Which brings me to my last stop. Back in the city, to a place where heritage takes on a different form. Kada is part hotel, part co-living space, and part creative lifestyle cluster. I'm meeting Jonathan and Shulan to find out how history can be carried forward by rethinking how we live today.
This building, 100 years ago, it was a medical facility, hospital for women and children. Throughout the past century, it has evolved from a hospital to a polyclinic to a medical dispensary. And so to reflect this whole history, the modern interpretation of it as a place for wellness, fitness, and hospitality gives it a very meaningful new chapter.
So what drew Habit to choosing this location?
You have an incredible location that is in the heart of Singapore, but retains that sense of nostalgia. We love the fact that we can partner with all the other community members within the building. You can live, eat, exercise, and sleep all in one place.
Some of the building's original structure still remains, including this electric lift built in the 1920s by British manufacturer Smith, Major and Stevens. It's said to be Singapore's oldest electric lift.
Wow,
Quite cool, huh?
super cool. I feel like I stepped into 100 years ago.
It's like it's going to open into another era of Singapore.
Really, it's so beautiful.
On the third floor is Habit, a blend of short-term hotel stays and long-term co-living across 18 rooms.
We believe that the lines between classical residential and hospitality are blurring. People are demanding a much more seamless experience for short, medium, and long term with all of the amenities and service that a traditional hotel or hospitality model would give them. And here, we try to do exactly that. We have 2 bedrooms and a shared semi-private kitchen with from a kitchenette to a washer dryer to a little dining table. We have a co-working space just located on the same premise. We have fitness facilities, spa facilities on the 2nd floor, so that as a guest, you don't need to leave the space.
So it also helps that this building is open to the public, so they are kind of hanging out with the locals as well.
Exactly, exactly. People are coming not only to enjoy the facilities, but also just to see such a historic building being rejuvenated, and they can really feel as being part of that Singaporean history.
Over the day, I've walked through spaces restored in its own way, welcoming different kinds of guests while carrying the past into the present. Some do it through design, others through food, community, or simply the way a space makes you feel. What stays with me isn't the architecture, it's the intent behind it, letting the past unfold in new ways.